We're here with a late one. Surprise. We are going up to Sandy to collect a Balto. Might have to put a repair kit on it. But yeah, we're just gonna be live for this talk. I almost went live when V was talking with Dax, but then there would have just been a lot of dead time waiting on Cello to be around after Storm. Oh, that was almost bad. I took that way too fast. I think this is also due for a repair, so there's that too. But we're doing a quick one. A cheeky little short stream. Ollie Adams! Okay. We have not heard from Ali in a hot minute. But I also haven't been around this storm in a while. Of course, in true Sandy fashion, there's a sandstorm right now. Yeah, the seats are repaired. For sure. Oh god. I hate locals. I hate locals. Have I mentioned that I hate locals? If it wasn't rattling before, it certainly is now. Alright.
Oh, you're using all the slurs. Hold on, B. That's a little rude. I haven't seen you in 2 months, and that's what you're gonna call me.
Oh.
Not that. Bitch, what do you mean, still? I lived specifically to spite you. No. Jackass, look. I'm about to. Not a furry. I'm a monster fucker. Get it right. No. No, it's not. Listen, asshole. I'm gonna talk to my kid for a little while, and I'll give you a call and we'll hang out. I got some news for you. I got something that'll help out with pride. Alright, go on. I'll call you in a bit, okay? Bye. How you doing, kiddo?
I'm doing alright. I'm just trying to get out of this goddamn sandstorm. So, Mason and I have been dating for a hot minute.
Okay.
And recently, topic of old ladies came up.
Hmm. Okay. And
Um,
how'd that make you feel?
Comfortable.
Good. Okay. So
Um,
we're on the wanting to belong somewhere side of the pendulum now, instead of the wanting to be independent and make your own way side of the pendulum.
I think so.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's like the longer I've thought of it, right? It's this weird, complicated thing where it's like, yeah, to a degree, you know, you give up a piece of that independence, right? I'm saying, fuck it, I'm not getting out of this sandstorm anywhere I want to go. Unless it's miraculously not sandstorming up here. Could not be so lucky.
That'd be too easy. Ugh.
Way too easy. But no, it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it would kind of, yeah, be giving up a piece of that independence. But it's something I think is worth it.
Okay. And if it's gonna make you happy, then I guess I should give Mason a proper shovel talk. V, I don't think you understand. Old ladyship is as good as marriage when it comes to
I
MCs.
I know.
So
And
that's a big fucking
there's
step.
only one way out of it. Oh,
Lady, do you fucking
ma'am,
mind?
this is a private conversation. Let's move over to the other side.
Sorry, I probably should have punched her the other way.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no, I'm aware of the seriousness of it. Um, so I have taken, time to actually think it through because there is no going back. There's no takesies backsies. Once I say yes, this is what I want, and it goes to a vote, if that vote is yes, then that's that. There's only one way out. But it feels right. If you asked me 3 months ago, I would have laughed and been like, "Are you kidding?" One, newfound independence. Two, this is a very new relationship. But
I'm sorry, I know we're having a serious moment, but did this man seriously just ask the entirety of the state entity to give him a call?
can the state call me, please? About what?
Okay. Does it make you happy?
Yeah.
That's all that matters, isn't it?
I I've said to a couple people that I hate to say it, but even with Harvey, I didn't feel as safe as I feel with Mason. And I'm gonna be real, Waldo. This is the healthiest relationship I've had in my adult life.
Oh, God forbid that you should be in a healthy relationship.
Oh my god, the horror. I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like when you look at the people I've dated, the fact that the member of a 1% MC is my healthiest and most stable relationship. But then, like, when I think about it, it's like, well, if that relationship is going to succeed, then there has to be solid communication. You know, I think that's true of any relationship, I guess, but I think especially with the position that Mason's in. Because obviously there's stuff that he can't tell me, and I respect that. There's stuff that I don't want to tell him, and he respects that.
How's your relationship with this club?
I think it's good. There's people I can stand to get to know better. Because for a long time, I've just been very wallflowered. Um, I've kind of been trying to talk to them one on one because I think there's stuff that they need to know about me
Mm-hmm.
before like anything is considered. Because I don't think it'd be fair of them to get blindsided by something months down the line, you know? Especially if it's something that could potentially make them go like, I respect her as Mason's partner, but I wouldn't want her as an old lady for this club. You know?
Okay. But overall, you want this. It's
Yeah.
something you want.
Yeah.
Well, then go for it. Simple as. I've noticed something, a trend, if you will, with my children. You, particularly, you're very bad at going for things that you want. Fuck it. Do something for you for once.
Yeah. Obviously, this is something I've been keeping very close to the chest because it's really nobody's business.
Well, it's a
But
big thing too.
but there's
Like you said. Go ahead.
there's certain people in my life who I wanted to have conversations with before I, say to Mason, this is what I want. Like locked in, like this is what I want. And it's like you and Raina still want to talk to Ash, but if that doesn't happen before I have that talk with Mason, then it doesn't happen before I talk to Mason. Um, I'm making a very conscious decision not to have this conversation with Kiki.
That is probably a mistake
Why do you think that?
because she's going to feel like you didn't trust her with the information.
It's not her I don't trust.
Then, ooh,
Winston.
why Winston?
Because I've noticed a tendency of like she'll bounce things off of Winston when she's trying to think things through.
Okay.
And, it's none of his business. And I don't think she would do it intentionally. You know?
Well, then you need to make the boundary clear. But I think if you don't make that boundary clear and you don't give her a chance to prove it, then it's going to blow up in your face.
I mean, there's a chance that doesn't happen. You
Is
know?
that a chance you're willing to take? That's your sister, after all. Listen, look at it this way. I hate using the saying, but you're kind of giving her the rope. It's up to her whether what she does with the rope, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you say, "Hey, I'm telling you this because I love and trust you, but I want it to be just between us until, it happens, if it happens, and then you find out that, Winston or somebody's talking about it, well, there you go. There's your leak." I don't think she will. I think if you communicate that boundary and she knows you're willing to police it, I think it'll be fine. I do know for sure what'll happen though. That if she finds out you made this giant life altering decision and you didn't even, briefly mention it, I don't see that going very well. Well, she probably won't make a fuss out of it, but it'll definitely eat at her. And I think you know that if you were the positions were reversed, it would eat at you too.
Yeah, it would.
So take a leap of faith. You love her. She's your sister. You do trust her. Just set that boundary. But then, if that boundary gets crossed, police it. Let's say you have to have a fucking knockdown, drag out, hair pulling cat fight over it. You can express that you feel that your trust was betrayed and that you're going to keep stuff back in the future. But again, I think if you are upfront and say, hey, just between you and me right now, leave, like even say it, leave Winston out of this. That's just a personal recommendation, though.
Like, I hate that was my first thought when I was thinking about who I wanted to talk to about things. Was having that concern that she might accidentally mention it. But, like, the biggest fear I have is one that is, like, it's not a valid fear. And it's rooted in my own insecurity about something that happened months and months ago that I did.
Okay.
That almost ended me and Mason before we really got started. And I'm like, what if, and this is my spiraling. It's like, what if she's hanging out with someone from ADMC and she accidentally says something or makes an offhand comment? Because we both know she has a tendency to do that sometimes. Of she'll make an offhand comment and someone will be like, wait, what? And, it's something
Okay.
she wasn't supposed to say.
I know, first of all, a fear is not stupid. A fear comes from somewhere. Just because it seems irrational doesn't mean that it's stupid. That's just your brain being a dickhead. But second of all, yeah, she can. She has done that. I've noticed that anytime I ever told her things just kind of in passing, they might slip. But every time I told her, hey, stop, don't say this, it never went anywhere. Because she knew, Veronica, she knew how many drugs I was dealing as an EMS out of the ambulance, for Christ's sake. Not a whisper to anybody. I literally sold drugs out of the back of bananas on duty to people.
But you never sold me any. What the fuck?
I sold you drugs.
Okay, yeah, no, you did, but never on
I
duty.
sold my entire I sold my entire family drugs. Let's be real.
This is true.
I sold the man I human trafficked drugs. Okay, that's how good I was.
Sorry, what?
Do you know how much drugs I sold Jeffy?
Jeffy
you know what
was willing to buy from you.
You know what my peace offering to him was? Metamorphine.
What
he
the
took
fuck? But on God, fuck Jeffy. It's a good thing he's dead.
Like, that's how good I am.
Never could stand him.
He was manageable until the end. The last couple of months, I don't know what was wrong with him.
Manageable? I wanted to fucking kill him for how he hurt Kiki.
Listen, I always did say, okay, listen, he was manageable before the human trafficking. And afterwards, it was kind of like dealing with a particularly fractious cat. But I don't know if it's something I did or something else or whatever, but just those last couple of months.
Balto, the way that man came close to being Charlotte Spade before Charlotte Spade was Charlotte Spade. Would have done it too.
You probably would have deserved it, from what I recollect.
Kiki never would have forgiven me, but
no. How did he die again? I forgot.
Wade shot him.
That's right.
In front of Rosabelle. And then I had to dye my hair.
That's
because
right.
Wade was dressed in drag with green hair and the space buns, and I had mint green hair and the space buns, and it kept triggering Rosabelle every time she saw me, so I had to dye my hair.
I don't even remember how he died. That's how much Jeffy meant to me
I
at the end.
remember it because Kiki and I were responding to the call, and then her explorer stalled out. Thank God, because she never would have gotten over that.
No, I'd be visiting her in Parsons right now if that was the case.
Like, if how I was after Harvey is anything to go by.
Mm. Yeah, and everything that happened with Wyland and
Speaking of, that anniversary was yesterday.
how'd she handle it?
She was doing fine, but then someone brought it up to her, and I'm gonna have words with that person when I see them next.
Do you want me to assist you in having words with this
No,
person?
no. This is
I
between
have a
me and
knife.
Beverly Brecker.
I have a knife.
No, we're not stabbing Bev.
Nobody ever lets me stab anybody anymore. I don't get to stab Forte. You're not gonna let me stab
Wait,
Mason.
why are we stabbing Forte? What the fuck?
Well, we're not. We threatened to stab Forte if he stepped out of line, but I think he'll be fine. He's gonna be a tiger.
Oh?
Our first and only comp, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you that that stays between us.
100% stays between us.
It's the first and probably only time we're going to take a comp, and that's purely because we've set some pretty fucking strict ground rules. And I told him if I found out he even once stepped out of line, especially with dealing with the other MCs, that I would purposely fly in, rip out his leg bones, and play his xylophone, or play his ribcage like a xylophone, and record it so he could put it in his next soundtrack.
Oh my god.
So he knows to keep a civil tongue in his head, or he and I will have words. But he is probably, honestly, if he wasn't a cop, he would have been a tiger months ago. He is. It's like somebody took Idol and made her into a man.
That is a terrifying thought.
It is baffling and horrifying and fascinating in equal measure. I talked to him for an hour and a half yesterday, and we just kept feeding off each other. And it got to a point where I was saying some buck wild shit, and I'm like, you know what? I need to go to bed, or we're both going to take a long ass vacation.
But yeah, that's the big thing going on right now. Is
Well, like I said, I think you should go for it.
I
He
want
makes
to.
you happy, so. And that is all I've ever wanted for you kids.
Yeah, I still have a few more conversations to go, but hopefully I can have them this weekend. But it's a lot of talking about Casey and talking about
Whoa,
all
whoa,
that.
whoa, back up. What about this bitch?
Um, Telling them about what brought me to Los Santos because I think they have a right to
Okay.
know, like, what I did.
Yeah.
Also, she's back in town.
Oh my god, will you let me stab her?
There's a line forming, Waldo.
I'll get in it. I don't care if there's like two or three other people in front of me, but I have a knife.
Yeah,
I wanted to stab her when I was in prison to begin with, but I only had one working limb, so,
yeah.
that was kind of setting myself up for failure.
But
I'll let
she
Mason do it. I'm sure he'll think of something inventive.
she texted me on my birthday,
Oh,
and
this bitch.
then she got a tarot card reading from Windsong and texted me saying it's a perfect night for a tarot card reading. I didn't put two and two together until the next day. I called Windsong. Apparently, Casey threw her SIM card at Windsong and ran off without paying her.
What a bitch.
Mm-hmm. So, That's back on the menu. I'm debating calling up Kenneth and seeing if he knows anything. Not saying that I know anything, but kind of
Don't
poking.
bring more serial killers, whether they're quote unquote reformed or not,
I
into
don't believe he's
this.
reformed for a second, but he,
Oh,
he
Kenneth?
already
No,
he
absolutely not.
already put
He's
himself
gone.
in it, Baldo. I met with
Well,
him months ago about Casey.
when
Which,
am I going to get my children to realize that we should stop meeting with people who
yeah,
wish to
well,
do us harm?
Mason wasn't too thrilled with that one because I did it while he was out of town. And I didn't call anyone for backup. I just
You
went.
probably waited on purpose too,
I called
because you
Finn.
knew he'd flip.
Yeah, but I called Finn. He just wasn't around, and Benny also wasn't around. So I tried. Not very hard, but I tried.
Christ alive, Veronica.
It's okay, I listen better now. There's two things Mason has asked me not to do. One is meet with Casey alone. The second is meet with Kenneth Jesperson alone. And I am not going to do either of those things.
Hmm.
What?
Long experience tells me that you're a lying hoe.
Do you think I want to piss off my boyfriend that bad?
Some days I think you do things on purpose.
What the fuck?
Do you deny it?
Only when I'm not in my right mind and I'm being
Your
impulsive.
silence is telling.
Hey, I'm a lot less impulsive these days. I still have the impulsive thoughts, but I haven't been acting on them. So,
Well, that's good.
progress.
I...
Also being on 3 different psych meds.
That's nice. I still take 5.
I don't have one of those.
You know my new medication for my fucking brain meltiness I have to stab into my butt? I hate that shit.
That doesn't sound pleasant in the slightest.
Once a day, one giant needle in the butt. Oh, hold on. Hello, child. Hi, daughter. Good, until you locked me in the house and I couldn't get out. No, I ended up just calling the locksmith. He pulled me out the window.
I'm probably going to bed after this because I have to be up early tomorrow.
Well, I also just don't have keys.
It's
I know. I was
garage sale
just
day.
crashing on the couch. That's good. I'm meeting with Veronica right now, and Paul's meeting up later because I got to get with him about some Pride stuff. And then I will be free until I can either track down Flop or Santino. I need to talk to Maeve before I leave this week as well. Jesus Christ, I need to talk to Kiki
garage
too.
Sale tomorrow. But do we think Veronica is going to have that talk with Kiki?
I'll give you a holler when I'm free up, okay?
Might be spicy if she doesn't.
All right, have fun, kiddo. Love you too. All right. She saw me tweeting come. So what else is new in the world of Veronica Westfield?
Not much. I've just been chilling. Haven't gotten arrested yet. Like, since my last arrest. I mean, I've been arrested. But, like, since the last time you saw me, I haven't been arrested. And it's just been resisting and petty theft, so those don't really count.
I kind of want to get permission to do crime while I'm here one day, and you can take me to do some stuff. I can already hear Emily bitching me out if I don't ask first.
We'll get you up on a rooftop.
I gotta make some money first, or I won't be able to afford any funds.
We'll take you towing first, and then we'll take you on some rooftops.
Perfect. Maybe when I come for my next visit in late July, early August.
Kiki and I will just take you roof running. She doesn't like doing chop, and I don't blame her, because sometimes you gotta knock a dog out.
Ooh, yeah, no.
So
I
we'll
can't see
stay
how
away
she'd
from
like
that.
that.
Um, but like roof running's fun.
Good shit. We'll do whatever you want to do. I'm just,
I'm sure some of the tigers can take you on some stuff.
Oh, from my understanding, the next time I come to visit, we are doing a Balto themed laundromat. So
That's gonna be hilarious.
it's going to be a glorious clusterfuck. I cannot wait.
That's one of the things I refuse to do. Is any of that stuff because I'm just like my brain is not built for that.
I mean, you could always just be the front person.
Eh,
Hold the wrench or the knife or the gun or whatever on the hostage. Talk to the cops. Easy street, right?
maybe. Only if Fenwell's a responding cop, so I can bully him.
I
What?
met Fenwell the other day.
I enjoy nothing more than bullying that man.
I can imagine he's a squirrely little fucker.
All I know is if Charlotte's ever the one that arrests me, it's gonna be funny.
Ooh, wait, no, do pocket sand.
What?
Literal insult to injury. You throw sand in her eyeballs and then run away.
Oh my god.
Literally just fill your pockets up with sand before the thing, and if she's the one chasing you, just whoop around, scream pocket sand, and yeet it at her face. I did that. Who did I fucking do that to? It was oh, it was one of the shift 3 cops. I can't remember who it was, but during my very brief stint of being a criminal after I got my legs working before I went back to EMS, I I pocket sanded a cop while we were robbing the vault, and he just laid there on the ground screaming. It was so dumb, but so good.
Oh, did anyone tell you that Aphrodite's a cop now?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, I hope she's happy.
It's definitely interesting. Luna. I don't know if Luna's put in her resignation yet, but I think it's coming.
I wouldn't be surprised to this economy as well. It's hard, man.
I think Happy's kind of starting to feel some kind of way about the fact that everybody seems to be leaving, but I said to him, look at the people who are leaving. They've all been doing this for years at this point.
Yeah, it's not people he knows that are newer. It's people who have been doing this for. Luna got hired 2 academies after I did. I mean, she's been doing this for about 3.5 years.
Yeah, she was the responding medic when I had my arm hatcheted off. Which was like several months after I moved to Los Santos.
Uh, Maybe I'll try and make some time and try to give Happy a pep talk before I leave on Monday.
He and I had a long talk the other day.
Good long talk, or
Yeah, he was able to vent some of the stuff that's bothering him, and I feel for him because I mean I know what it's like to be in that position.
yeah, maybe I'll I'll try to get a hold of him. Waking up next storm is such a pain in the ass for me, and it's the only time he's around.
Yeah. Sometimes he's around early or like late in this storm.
Mm.
Um, but I think he's definitely understanding now why people really don't stay high command very long. Because I don't think people realize how much politicking goes into it and balancing the wants of people with the needs of the department.
Yeah, I definitely should check in on him. Maybe scoop him up for a weekend in Colorado.
I think he needs it.
I like that that's my go to now. Just come to Colorado, forget the world exists for a weekend.
It was funny because the Miami trip last weekend happened like the day after my talk with Lane. I was like, man, if I hadn't already committed to this trip.
Well, I won't be taking you away for a while now. I'll be doing the visiting from now on, except for around New Year's. I would like you and Mason to come out for New Year's.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's going on around then.
Well, it's 6 months from now, so let's not
Yeah.
worry about it too much.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to think about that because there's a whole summer just waiting for me to not be worrying about anything. So if I could just not skip to thinking about New Year's, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, I'm not expecting any plans to be made right now. It's what I would like, sure. Do I expect us to plan right now and buy you plane tickets? No, that's ridiculous. We can buy them in like December. Because I promised Kiki that I would come out on her birthday.
Okay, okay.
So even if my trip schedule means I come out in November, I'll come out in December too for the birthday. So, I guess this is as good a time to tell you. We think we have reached the end of what medicine can do for my brain.
So what does that mean for you?
This is as good as I'm going to get, probably, which is fine, all things considered. It's not a major, like, good or bad thing, I guess. They think we have finally 6 years, give or take. Maybe a little more, you know, advancements and all. I already got an extra 5 years, so.
Yeah.
But I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. You'll be well off and married with your fucking boyfriend.
Okay, let's not go that far.
You're essentially getting married literally in like 2 weeks.
Maybe longer.
Yeah, I don't see him not pushing for a vote for old ladyship as soon as he physically can.
Nah. You don't think he's like that like he's gonna do it that
No,
quick.
here's the thing. Well, first of all, he wouldn't have brought it up if he wasn't already set. So
Yeah, no, I know.
keep that on track. Second of all, that's just not. That's something you bring up when you're ready to like make the move. If I had to guess, he's probably I don't know, campaigning you for a while.
Well, actually, according to Mason, it was Lane that brought it to him.
Well, okay, now it's definitely a done deal if the fucking president's bringing it up. Look, they're a more traditional MC. Maybe not as traditional as like the BMC or ADMC, but more traditional than we Tigers ever were. Um, he knows what this means, and he wouldn't have brought it to you even if Lane mentioned it unless he was sure.
I know.
Here comes the bride, all
I'm
dressed in
going to
black
throw you off
leather.
this goddamn mountain, Balto. Don't think that I won't, old man.
You can try.
You might be like taller than me, sure. I could,
Taller and heavier than you by like 125
I could
pounds.
take you. I
Are you
could,
sure?
I could throw you off this mountain.
Are you sure I couldn't just lift one hand and engulf your entire head with one fucking bear mitt?
I am so confident in my ability.
Uh huh. And I'm
Yup.
straight.
No, you're not.
That's the point.
Totally, totally do it. Might need
Uh huh.
help, but
Might need a fucking crane.
oh, it's just a crane around.
That old bastard's still kicking.
Yeah, he's still the Chief Justice.
Good lord. I swear, him and I exist out of pure spite for this city at this point.
Probably.
Oh man, what a fucking roller coaster. You're getting club married. I threatened to murder a cop if he stepped out of line. I've only been in town for 2 days.
What's the third thing you're gonna do? Gonna be?
I don't know. I need to talk to Flop. I need to get filled in on how that's all going since I told him the story about his, shall we say, unfortunate brush with death, literal death.
How did
His
people take that, by the way?
Oh, they're so mad. Kiki was a little pissed off at me, but she came to it pretty quickly. Dark and Rhodes, they're not happy. Pixie said she wanted to murder me, but that's pretty par for the course when it comes to Pixie and I, so that's not even out of the ordinary. I think even Etta and Ziggy are a bit cranky with me. But, never mind the fact that none of them bothered to talk to me and hear about how the fact that I literally already had bought and paid for Flop safety with the favor that Death owed me. So.
Yeah. Well,
But when have I ever been beholden to the opinions of mere mortals? So, mostly just want to touch base with Flop, and there's some interesting. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Again, just you and me. I've actually been in the city a couple of times in the last little while, putting my ear to the ground. Mostly about Santino, but
mm-hmm.
some other stuff as well. Called in a favor here and there. People still willing to lend me a hand. Turned over some interesting little tidbits about some folks. It's harder now since I don't live here. There's not much I can offer most people. I don't have currency that works in Los Santos. I don't have as many favors to pull as I used to, but it's amazing what you can get if you just, I don't know, put on a grime outfit and complain about how you had a really shitty traffic stop with this one cop and oh, what did he look like? Oh, white hair and sunglasses? Yeah, that bitch. I heard about what happened to Suarez. That's fascinating.
Hmm.
Apparently, he took to crime like a duck takes to water.
Nothing surprises me anymore. Kid Archer also, I think, left being
No, not
PD.
Kit.
I don't think she's like, dived headfirst into, blasting cops, but
I wonder if PD realizes that this seems like a canaries in a coal mine scenario.
the Canaries are dead. They're like hella dead. Baldo, the Canaries are so dead that they're decayed.
I've heard Barrick is chief, and the jury's out on whether that's a good thing or not. Still, even 3 months later, considering what I know of Barrick Johnson,
It's
that's a
okay.
choice.
The assistant chief of police, Ruby York, said to my boyfriend, upon learning that I was his girlfriend, "Careful with that one. She's crazy. She'll slit your throat."
Nice, good
Mm-hmm.
idea. That's a splendid tactic.
Especially like considering, I was never actually charged.
Oh man, B. Sometimes I visit and I miss this place a little bit, and then I hear about what's going on, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm okay living in Aspen.
Look, I've made it my mission anytime I see Ruby to, and like if I'm alone with somebody, particularly in EMS, I'll say, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna stab them." I was having a talk with someone at Del Perro Pier, and she was with like Croc and someone else, and again I went, "Oh no, don't worry, I'm not gonna stab her. She's safe with me." Because if that's the game that she wants to play, then that's the game that I'm gonna play. Especially when you consider I haven't done anything of that magnitude since. Nor was I ever arrested for it. So, what proof do they have that it was actually me that slit Charlotte Spade's throat? None. That's how much.
Oh man, kiddo.
And I'd do it again.
You're gonna be a Raiders old lady.
Maybe.
I think it's only you that's saying maybe at this point, kiddo. Well, you know me. If it makes you happy and it's what you want, I support you.
And it is what I want.
Then there we go. Problem solved.
But I'm going to keep saying maybe until it does actually happen, because that way, you know, no expectations. It's kind of how I've always operated, right? Like, when I wanted, because, there was a point in time where, like, I wanted lieutenant. I wasn't going to say that I wanted lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be so sure, like, okay, it's going to be soon. It's going to be soon. Archer had done this thing where I was forced to wear my trainee shirt for a week as a quote unquote punishment. And I really thought that was going to lead into, hey, by the way, trial LD. And then it didn't. And then David and, I think it was Val got trial LT. And that stung. Because I was like, man, working towards this, and Randy's been saying like this is gonna happen. So I just get in the headspace of maybe it's gonna happen. That way I don't have any expectations set, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think this is something that this is the most sure I've been about something in a long time.
I think it's going to be great.
Now I'm starting to feel a little tired.
Yeah, let's get you to bed then.
Yeah, and I know you've got more people to
That's
see.
my life. I come to visit, I have meeting.
Just as long as none of them are at 5 p.m.
What's at 5 p.m.?
Every single Sanguine War meeting ever was. Is that a piece
Oh,
of wheat?
that's right.
That is a piece of wheat.
It is a piece of wheat. Good lord. Alright, let me call this.
Alright, where am I taking you?
Let's find out. I swear, if he doesn't answer.
Who are you trying to get a hold of?
Bo. I tell this man I'm gonna call him because I have something I need to tell him. What does he fucking do? Go to sleep apparently.
Wow, I can't believe he hates you. Or is dead. Or both.
Or both.
He hates you
let's
and
just go
he's
back
dead.
to the Richmond for the time being.
Oh yeah, because you're locked out of the...
Yep. Tell your other half that I'd like to try and speak with him before I disappear into the wild blue yonder on Monday.
Okay. I will make him aware of that when I see him tomorrow.
I promise to be cordial and polite. Well, as cordial and polite as I am capable of being.
Speaking of...
Oh. If he's awake, perfect timing. Just do it now.
Hi. Just letting you know, Balto would like to talk to you before he leaves on Monday.
Okay.
But I know, are you just around checking things, or?
I'm just checking things, seeing how
Okay. And I will let Balto know that, because, you know, you weren't feeling too hot, so...
yeah. Like a wet paper bag. Kind of vibes right now.
That doesn't sound good.
Alright, well...
Very fragile.
So
But yeah.
give me a heads up, he wants to talk to you before he leaves on Monday.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try and make some time.
Right.
I know this time of night.
Yeah.
And I have been more recently as well, so we should be able to link up on Monday.
Alrighty. Well,
Okay.
I'll be back at the apartment soon.
Alright.
Oh, you're being cute.
Yeah, he's not feeling too hot, but it was easier for me to call him and say that than text him.
Yeah, listen, I'm here all weekend. I don't leave. Technically, it's Tuesday morning at 4 a.m., but that's close enough to be Monday, so.
Yeah, he's been around a bit more at this hour, so...
Like I said, it won't be like an hour-long talk, and I'll be nice.
He'll be nice.
I'll keep the threats of bodily harm to a bare minimum.
Uh-huh.
Listen, Scout's honor.
You know, Harvey never even got a shovel talk from anybody.
That's because you married while I was in prison.
I mean, fair. But, like, nobody
And
else...
by the time I by the time I got out, that's like closing the barn door not only after the horse is in the paddock, but when the horse is in another fucking state running the derby. Y'all got married when I was at the beginning of my 100-year sentence.
To be fair, Harvey was like, "Hey, let's get married," and I was like, "Okay," and he's like, "No, I mean like right now," and I was like, okay." Which is why I
That's the only
maintain
reason.
we probably would have ended up getting divorced.
Possibly.
Because marrying him was not something I put thought into. Marrying him was something I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. Mind you, I loved him dearly. Right. And like it was a good relationship, but like that could have ended disastrously.
Oh, almost certainly.
The man stole my microwave from my house while we were dating and took it with him while he was having visions of Fingal Dan naked.
That's alarming.
I still have no idea to this day what was going on with him. I just know that there was a point in time where I was dragging him to the hospital like every other day because of things that were going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I liked Harvey well enough, but Mason seems good for you and you seem happy, so I'm happy. Listen, but if I don't give him some amount of shit, am I really me?
No, you're not. Where the fuck is the Richmond? I always get. Did I
Yeah, I was
pass it?
turned around too. No, it's like fucking up up there. Apparently the Tigers are saving up for a second house, so they have a place for their Civ members to crash as well, and they're gonna put a room up for me.
Yeah, Mason and I are trying to save up for a house. Every house we wanted in Toledo got bought up, so.
From what the kids were telling me, they're trying to save up for one of my old houses, so.
Yeah, well, your old Toledo house is already, like, sold.
Yeah, but my old Vinewood house is still there.
True. Well, actually,
We'll try and get some. We'll try and get some just actual proper hangout time before I leave. You know, God and train willing.
And not
But
me
seriously?
telling you, like, this pending upcoming major life change.
Shan't say nothing. Just take my advice with Kiki, okay, kiddo? Or at least keep it in mind.
I'll consider it. I'll probably talk
All right.
to Mason about it. See where his head's at.
Alrighty.
Cause like,
hey, I'm proud of you for doing something for you.
that means a lot to hear.
I think you're making the right choice, and I'm happy that you're finally putting yourself first.
Yeah, I know. Historically, I don't really have the best track record with that.
Yeah, you'll get there. I'm in my 50s, and I still don't do it all the time.
Well, I mean, I did put myself first when I left the department.
True, there's that. You're getting the hang of it.
I'm figuring this out. Slowly. It only took me until I was 30 years old to figure it out, but, you know.
You got this. Alright, I love you. Be safe. Go home, dear boy, okay?
Love you too. Good night.
Good night.
Alright, now we go back to the apartments, and I am going to end stream and go veg. Because I think I have to be up a lot earlier than I think I do. Because the garage sale starts at 8. So I'm thinking I probably need to be up by 7. Which puts me on par to get the normal amount of sleep that I get. But that was a good chat with Baldo. Letting him know about the old lady stuff. Getting his thoughts on it. He's just like, of course you're gonna get into trouble talk. Of course you are. What the? And him saying, like, that she should tell Kiki. Because, like, V's kind of been going back and forth on whether or not she wants to talk to Kiki about it. Because as much as she loves and trusts Kiki, to Veronica right now, like, she doesn't necessarily... Oop. He almost ran that red in front of the cop. I just want to go to bed. So we'll see. She's gonna talk to Mason probably tomorrow about what he thinks. Honestly, Mason's opinion on it, probably the most important to Veronica. I should say probably is the most important to Veronica. It's part of why she had the talk she had with Shirley. Is because Mason suggested it, and when she thought about it, she was like, you know what? Shirley is someone to talk to, and I'm sorry about the sniffling. My allergies are in full swing, which is another reason why it's time to go to bed. It is time to go to bed. It was a short one. Like I said, I almost went live for the Dax conversation, but I had things I had to do, like after Storm, where it would have just been like dead air while I was like doing things that I need to do. Yeah. Alright. Alright. This is what our PJs are tonight. Because I always put Veronica in her pajamas before I log off for the night. It is just a habit that I'm in. Is there anyone still going at this hour that I know? Let's see. You know what? Since we had Snow is streaming. Yeah, she has 3 sets of pajamas. She used to have a lot more back in the day. Yeah, we'll send it over to AdSnow. I really need to talk to him about if Tommy and V have any kind of connection on Onyx, because if they do, one of these days I might wake V up on Onyx to go troll Tommy, because I miss role playing with AdSnow and a bunch of other folks. So I think waking Veronica up over there to troll them and just have fun with it could be fun. Alright. I'll be back on Monday, barring anything that I think should be streamed. Have a good night.